A lot of people want a bandaid for their painful thoughts. They want a filter for their faucet head rather than diving down into the well and understanding that the base of everything is fucked up. It's corrupted. It is not functioning in a healthy manner. You ever hear any of the content online, or see it for that matter, that presents itself as like, oh, think better thoughts. This is what to do in order to think better thoughts. And it's usually very like superficial. It's like stop yourself from thinking that and instead think this. Catch yourself in the moment from thinking this and instead think that. I'm not here to down anything. I'm not here to say that you shouldn't do that. No, you have free human agency. That's actually one of the most important things to understand because a lot of people actually are not aware of that. What I am here to do, however, is to say that based on everything I've learned, behavioral issues are far deeper than just, oh yeah, let's stop thinking that and instead think this other thing. Yes, stop yourself in your tracks while you're thinking this thing and instead think this other thing. I'll call it what I think it is, the BS of thinking better thoughts. Are you aware that there is a well to the sink that you want to put a fucking filter on? Are you aware that there is a childhood to the dysfunctionality that is the behavior that you are experiencing? It's not good or bad or right or wrong. You can do whatever the fuck you want to. If you want to just take that band-aid from the internet, slap it on your arm, oh golly, I feel fucking great now for the next, I don't know, 24 hours until somebody fucking says something that triggers you and you enter an explosive fucking episode. I don't know. Again, you can do what you want to. Every sink has a well, actually, I'm pretty sure if it's a sink in the city, uh, wherever the fuck that's coming from, it's probably got some type of like fluoride or chlorine in it. Who the fuck knows, right? But if you live out in the middle of fucking nowhere, your sink likely has a well. It likely has a body of origin. If that water is coming out fucked up, it's likely necessary to look at the foundation, the fucking well. The water in the well is probably fucked up. Something probably got into it. If you want to just think better thoughts and believe that that's going to take hold, listen, I'm not here to tell you what to do. You can do that. You absolutely can. Do I believe that it's going to hold over the course of 10 fucking years? Especially after somebody says something that triggers you tomorrow? No, I don't buy it. You'll probably be on a fucked up back and forth pattern of, well, if I just continue to think better thoughts, it should change, right? I don't know. Maybe it will for you. I'm not here to say it won't. I'm not here to say what does and doesn't work for you. But what I am here to say is that if you have a fucking rotted foundation in that well that's fucking up the water and it's spitting out this nasty fucking dark dangerous shit that you probably shouldn't be consuming, you can put a filter on it, absolutely, but that filter is likely going to fucking deteriorate after a short period of time. That filter of just thinking better thoughts is probably going to get exhausting after a certain period of time. Are you aware that you have a family of origin, and with that, you had a childhood that if you were raised in that childhood with survival, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, you did not get healthy boundaries, you did not get individuation and differentiation? Are you aware that the likelihood that your behavioral dynamic is going to likely be fucked up and unhealthy, likely consisting of extremes, of like all or nothing behavior? Are you aware of that? If you've been watching my videos recently, I've been talking about how awareness is a massive part of personal transformation. You cannot do anything about what you are unaware of. Now, let me make this very clear. I'm also simultaneously aware that the internet likes something called instant gratification. And this idea that you can just jump into a new fucking life of thinking better thoughts is fun. Yeah, give me that bandaid real quick. I'm gonna slap it there. Yeah, let's go. Let's think better thoughts. What's wrong? It's not sustaining. It's not working. Huh. Oh, what? The repetition compulsion is taking over? The thinking better thoughts was just a band-aid and it's not strong enough to sustain itself? It was just kind of trendy? Something like that? Yeah, it felt great in the moment, but what ended up overriding it? Oh, yeah, the repetition compulsion. The reality that your ego state is not structured enough to handle that path, that course. The unfortunate reality is that, well, let me say this first and foremost. A lot of people do want change in their life. The unfortunate reality is that they're investing in short term fixes that don't actually sustain them. You can put a filter on your faucet head, and for a short period of time, because the filter will degrade, it will fall to pieces, it will get fucked up, things will happen within that, it will get exhausted, and it will fall off. You can put a filter on your faucet head and spit out different water for a short period of time. Or you could dive into your childhood, your family of origin, your fucking well, the foundation of your well. And even though it might look intimidating and scary and painful, you could look at it and be like, whoa. Yeah, and it is very much woe inducing. I will validate the shit out of that. A lot of the content that I see on social media for self-help is very much regarding instant gratification. It's very much about slapping filters on stuff to take care of deeper issues. It's very much about you have a fucking, I don't know, something here that's going to spread throughout your entire body, and a band-aid's not going to fucking fix it. But I understand the drive to seek the instant gratification thing. I get it. I get it. Yeah. It also means that your id is stronger than your ego state, and also likely your super ego that helps you to understand, well, if you just dive into your stuff, you get a better understanding of what the fuck happened to you, because everyone has stuff. Nobody doesn't have stuff. We all have stuff. We all have shit. You can absolutely just slap a fucking instant fix on your shit. Throw a fucking Hail Mary and hope that hope that something changes. You see in football when they throw those Hail Marys, hoping that they'll win, it usually never works. That's kind of what people are doing when they just slap fucking band-aids of instant gratification, quick fixes on issues that actually require fucking attention. Repetition compulsion, unhealthy repetition compulsion, over and over again, putting yourself in relationships that are unhealthy because that was comfortable and familiar to childhood, That requires deep fucking attention. That requires you understanding, oh, I'm just going to let go of these friends and find new ones. The repetition compulsion doesn't give a fuck. It's designed to keep you stuck in a comfortable and familiar emotional pattern of likely sadomasochistic dynamics from childhood. Oh, I'll just let go of these friends and get new ones. The likelihood that you're going to attract the same type of people is very high. It's very important to understand this. It doesn't just go away. It requires you to look at yourself, and that's something that's very painful for a lot of people. Long-term sustained change happens when you fucking look at yourself deeply. Not just slap a fucking filter on that faucet head and, oh, we're all good now, everything's fine. No, you have a family of origin. You had a childhood. If you were raised in survival with fight, flight, freeze, fawn, you likely developed a bunch of fucking unhealthy defense mechanisms that drive you throughout this life. That is necessary to look at. You can go for the quick fix, but it's likely not going to sustain. But of course, that's what like the internet is filled with. Oh, are you having a hard day? I'll end off with this because I think that it's totally fucking, I don't know if the word is anecdotal for this, but I see these coaches do this all the time where they're like, are you having a hard day? Try this. Oh, there's the fucking filter on the faucet head. Meanwhile, the well, the foundation of the well is looking like a fucking horror movie down there. Dark and shit. Bloody, disgusting. But be my guest. Go ahead, if you're having a hard day, put a fucking bandaid on it. It's entirely your choice. You can do whatever you want to. And I'm not here to shame or guilt anybody for their choices of that. I understand. It's painful. I get it. The pain is valid. It's real. And quite oftentimes, it's very intimidating and difficult to deal with. You can absolutely do that. But what I'm here to tell you is that the likelihood that that temporary filter, is going to fall off and everything's going to fucking collapse and your life is going to be a shit show in no time again. The internet tries to sell you this instant gratification model that it can change your life like that, when in reality, fuck, like you've got some shit to work through. There's a deep fucking corrupted well with fucked up water that you do not want to drink because that's going to fuck you up. But go ahead, just put a band-aid on it. Can if you want to. And again, I'm not here to shame or guilt anybody. I understand. It's intoxicating. Oh my god, my life is better all of a sudden. Yeah, temporarily for like 24 fucking hours until somebody triggers you. Like, imagine working through your shit to the point where you're no longer triggered. And you're just fucking peaceful. You're chilled out. You're good. And that doesn't require anything externally. That's because you've got you. Yes, it's sad that the think better thoughts model of self-help has, like, I don't know, been on the rise. But I understand. I get it. There is more to it. And I encourage you to be gentle with yourself, regardless of whatever path you choose. But also, I will say it for what it is and how I see it. There is shit there. And if you so choose to look at the shit, you can get a better understanding of yourself. It's not just about putting a fucking band-aid on your problems. It's about self-awareness. Self-awareness is the key here. It's a fucking gift. It can change everything. What you are unaware of, you cannot do anything about. It's very important to remember that. I hope that this video finds you well, and I hope that it also finds you without feeling judged, because that's not my intention. I get it. I understand the instant gratification model and how fucking seductive it is. How delicious it is to think that your life can be better all of a sudden if you just put a fucking band-aid on it. You'll feel better, probably for the short term. But if you want long-term sustained change in your life, you've got a well of shit that you're likely going to have to look at. You can get curious about it rather than being afraid of it. How cool is it to become aware of yourself? You can do it. I believe in you.